So this is all I got. I think it's a deer. I don't know. Hi, I'm Sharon, and this is episode 9 of Sampler Style. Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 9. I was up here today. I just did an Instagram live for my knitting yarn dyeing business, and I figured while I'm up here and doing content creation, let's make this a whole thing. A content creation afternoon, if you will. So this is my 2022 WIP parade, and I'm breaking it down actually into what I finished in 2021, what I started and am working on, and then I have a few that I have abandoned, and I will either sell or frog some of it. I don't use the fabric for something else. I don't know. I have a couple, so I will show you. Let's get into it. Let's start off by talking about what I finished in 2021. So I consider 2021 as my first full year of being a stitcher with a capital S. When you're a serious knitter like I am, I made my sweater, by the way. When you're a serious knitter, professional knitter, which I am, you're called a knitter with a capital K, and I've become a stitcher with a capital S. So 2021 was my first full year of really diving deep into stitching, and I acquired quite a bit of stash in 2021, which I am thrilled about, and I will show you that in a subsequent episode. But yeah, I learned a lot about myself in 2021. I like to stitch monogamously because I do like to finish things. I get very nervous when I have too many active WIPs. I don't mind having WIPs put away that I know I will eventually finish, because most of them are seasonal kind of WIPs, but I really like to work on one thing at a time, and I prefer big projects, and that is typical of me with knitting as well. I would much prefer to knit a giant sweater or shawl than knit, mittens or hats. I don't knit hats ever because I look horrible in hats. But anyway, so I had 3 finishes fully. Well, I have one fully finished object in 2021. I have two fully finished objects in 2021. I have one that just needs framing, and I have another that I just need to put finishing touches on. I'm kind of calling it finished, but okay. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is a gift. I will put a picture in of the project. It is Thy Love Divine by Hands Across the Sea. Love Hands Across the Sea. Oh my goodness. She comes out weekly with so many beautiful things. I am resisting buying all of them, but gorgeous things. So Thy Love Divine was a gift for my step-granddaughter and her new husband, and they were married this past year, and I stitched it for them and had it finished and gifted it to them, and I have some footage of that right here. So I love knitting. I love stitching this. It was so much fun. I learned a new stitch, and it was awesome. Okay, second thing I finished, but I didn't fully finish yet because I finished it, and then I know I have to go back and just recheck it. I know I missed there's some specialty stitches in here that I want to redo, and I can't think of what they are. You'll know when I show them to you. But that is this beautiful piece, Coming to America. I finished this in the early summer, It's gorgeous. Stunning. I stitched it on a piece of 36 count vintage country mocha. I got this as a kit. I don't remember from where, but I think you can just buy it now on Brenda Gervais' website, not as a kit. You have to kit it up yourself. But I was fairly new at stitching when I did this. So I know I missed a stitch in this Cape Cod I have to fix. I know I just have to check and make sure everything is perfect before I send it out. And these little French knots, that's what they are. These chickens have French knots. And I don't think I did the best job on these French knots. So I want to go back and maybe take those out and redo them. I don't know, we'll see. I changed the pattern slightly. I put a kitty in here instead of another chicken. I think there's a chicken supposed to be there. I put a kitty. And everything else is the same. The floss was all the called for floss. And I love how it came out. Brenda Gervais' color choices are very muted. Very much on the gray scale. Not bright at all. And I love that. So I would like to send this out to the framer at some point soon. And that took a long time. That was a long stitch. It's on 40 count. Did I say 36? It was on 40 count. First time stitching on 40 count. I love 40 count. Although I did find out something about myself. When I stitch on 40 count now, I'm using silk because the holes are small and the cotton yarn tends to knot up more for me on 40 count, so silk tends to knot up less, and I just like it. I just like the feel of it in my hands. So I'm into the silk stitching. Speaking of silk, I stitched this All Hallows Eve with Glorianna silk, antique black, I think. And I love how this came out. This is on 36 count. It's absolutely beautiful. I just have to do all of the gold here. I haven't done any of it. It shouldn't take me that long. I just have to do it. So I just finished this one in November, and I showed you on my last show. And as soon as I finish all of the gold accents, I will be sending this. This is my, I'll probably send these two together to get framed. Better save up some money for that one, because that's, oh well, it is what it is. I want them done. So that's pretty cool. And the only other finish, I have her right here. She's my little stitching mascot. She will be next to me as I record pretty much every episode because I think she's gorgeous. And I don't have a stitching wall yet. That's why I want to get these finished. I'm going to start a black or monochromatic wall in the guest bedroom. And I think that Coming to America is going to go in our family room because we have nautical elements in our family room. And I think I'll hang this up down there when it's finished. So I'm looking forward to those being fully finished. So this lovely finish, I did not finish myself. This is Halloween Queen by Not Forgotten Farm, and she's adorable. I love her. I stitched her with 2 strands over 2 threads on 36 count. I don't really like stitching with 2 strands. Some people just have such beautiful even stitches. I do not. I think mine look better with 1 strand, so moving forward, unless it's like 28 count or 32 count, I probably will stick to 1 strand, but I did her with 2, and I think she came out great. So I had her finished by Starry Night Studios, Alyssa. She does a phenomenal job finishing. I love it. Okay, so WIPs. This brings us to some projects that I started back when I first got into stitching, and I have since abandoned, which is kind of sad, but I just have no interest in stitching them for various reasons. So 2 of these are from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I love their patterns. I have several that I have finished in the past, and I love them, but they are on 28 count with 2 strands, and I just don't want to stitch that anymore. So here are the 2 that I have kitted, and I started, but I'm just not going to finish. So the first one is the Animal Almanac Sal, which I believe was 2019. Yeah, I believe this is 2019. And I have 2 of the months completed. I will probably give this away at some point because I have the whole kit. I have all the flosses and everything. The reason I stopped on this one was too many color changes. Oh my goodness. I love their patterns. I think they're adorable. Look how cute they are. Look how many color changes. Oh my goodness. I can't take it. It's not what I want to. I don't want to stitch with all these colors all the time, changing every 5 seconds. No, I just can't do it. As beautiful as they are, I just can't. Plus, I don't have any little ones in my life at all. And this is more of a... It would look so cute in a kid's room. Maybe if I ever have littles. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep it for that. I don't know. I can always rebuy it if I want to do it. But anyway, it's super cute. It's just not my style anymore. That's just the way that's the way it goes. The second one from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, I had every intention of doing this last year. This was their Christmas wreath pillow stitch along, mystery stitch along. And I tried doing this, I tried doing it with stitching in hand. That was a huge fail. So this is all I got. I think it's a deer. I don't know. Is it a deer? Wait a minute. I don't even know what this is. It's a bunch of colors. It's a beautiful, beautiful pattern. I'll try and find a photo of it and pop it in here. It's super cute. I just can't. I had the fabric for it. And I got the threads, but I'm definitely going to give this one away at some point because I just don't have any desire. I got into samplers and more primitive stitching, and that fits so much better with my decor that as much as I love Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery's aesthetic, it just doesn't fit in my house because I don't have any little kids. I mean, I think it looked great in kids' rooms, but we're all adults. My kids don't want kids, so I don't see it happening. Okay, so those are 2 abandoned that I am definitely not going back to, and I'm cool with that. I'm okay. If I'm not enjoying it, I'm just not going to do it. Third project that I'm abandoning is, I came to this decision kind of regretfully because I think it's beautiful. I think the colors are beautiful. I just don't want to stitch 40 count with DMC right now. And this is Il Fazzoletto Ricamato by Modern Folk Embroidery. I have a little bit of a start on it. It's gorgeous. I've shown this on my show before, but these cottons are just, I'm having a struggle with them. And it's huge. I might restart it with silk someday, because I could totally match these to NPI. Not a problem. NPI has a color card that I was going to ask for Christmas, but I got a knife set instead, which I needed more. So I will eventually get NPI's color card. It's like $120 for all the colors, which is super cool, but I just can't justify spending money on that right now. I'd rather use it for framing. And yeah, this is a huge piece, so I can probably just cut that top off and use this beautiful linen for something else, because it's a giant fat half. I'm sure I could find something else to put on this beautiful linen, which is Bramble by Picture This Plus. I have a lot of Picture This Plus fabric because that's what I started stitching with when I was stitching the frosted pumpkin patterns, because that's the first linen I ever stitched on was a 28 count Picture This Plus, and I love Picture This Plus. I have since branched out to some other linens. Linen's a little hard to come by right now. Sue Stokes, I know you're watching, Knit24 on Instagram, and co-host of Floss Toss, and Rachel of Floss Toss. I started, I signed up for their Fabric of the Month Club, and I'm getting 40 count fat quarters, I think quarterly in 2022. I'm very excited about it. Sue is a beautiful dyer, and I cannot wait to see her fabric, the first installment. So I do love fabric. And like I said, I either stitch now on 36 count, and I don't mind stitching cottons on 36 count, or I stitch 40 count, and I usually will use a silk if I stitch on 40 count. Okay, so those are my abandoned projects. I have 2 more frosted pumpkin stitchery projects to show you in my WIP pile that I probably will finish because they're almost done, and it would be sad not to finish them. The first one is the Nutcracker Parade, and all I need to do is the words and the doodads at the bottom, and I will send her out to Alyssa to finish. So maybe I'll take a day, maybe I'll do like right around the 25th of each month and work on this and get it done. It shouldn't take me that long. The hard part is done. Look at all those color changes. It's so pretty though. I love it, and it would look really, I like these frosted pumpkins as a holiday decoration. That's what I like them for. Okay, and the other frosted pumpkin stitchery project that I have and have not finished, because right around the time I was stitching on this, I really got into samplers and I just abandoned it. But I am going to finish it because I like their holiday themed. This is one of their Halloween villages. I forget the name of this one, but it's super cute. And I need to just do this one, and then over here is a bookshop, I think. Yeah, this is a pet shop. How cute is that? And then there's a bookshop on this side. And I'll work on this maybe a little bit at a time as well. It's the kind of thing I can only work on a little bit at a time. I tried my hand at stitching in hand on this one too. I've tried stitching in hand on pieces this year, and I know how to do it. It's just, I don't know. I prefer to use a frame and stitch two-handed. It's all preference. Okay, so this brings me to the rest of my WIPs, most of which I'm not working on right now, but I do have intentions of finishing. The first one is a modern folk, my first modern folk embroidery. It's called The Hound and the Hare. This is back, I only stitch from PDFs now. So I scan them. I never share them, so don't worry. I scan them on my printer, and this is not the actual chart. This is the picture of the chart of the finished piece. I don't use paper. I use my phone or my iPad. So this is The Hound and the Hare. I love this one. If you purchase this, he donates some of the money to the Greyhound Rescue locally to him, which I think is amazing. And I changed the colors on this. I decided to use a different color for each band, and I got stuck on the alphabet, and I'll show you why in a second. This is beautiful. It's stitched on 32 count. Picture this plus, I forget the name of the linen, but it's gorgeous. I'm actually almost done with it. So you can see that I use these muted browns, greens, and golds. I tried my hand at silk for the hound part. I think it came out really good. So I started this in the fall of 2020, and I stopped stitching it because I started stitching on holiday things, and then I started stitching on Coming to America, and I haven't gotten back to this one since. I will. So one reason I haven't finished this is because of the alphabet. So Jacob charted this with the hound with the U as a V, which was common back in the 1800s, I believe. But then when he did the alphabet, he put the U in here, which to me didn't make any sense. So I was going to rechart this whole alphabet. I just haven't gotten around to it. I don't know if I'm going to. I might just stitch the alphabet as is and just call it done. What would you do? You can put a comment down below and let me know. So I think I have this cable band and the alphabet, just these 3 bands to do. That shouldn't take me that long. And I will finish this because I think it's beautiful. I'm stitching it with DMC, except for this is silk here. Dinky dyes. So when I started that one, I got into modern folk embroidery, so I'm stitching this one. This is Christmas Town on Picture This Plus gingerbread, and it's so pretty. I'm stitching it with white floss, and it's nice. I like it, but I lost interest in it after Christmas last year, and I haven't picked it up since. But I'd like to keep working on it. Not abandoned. Yet. Okay, this next one I started when I was on vacation last year. This is Little Red Work Pin Keep by Stacy Nash. I love it. But as soon as I got back from vacation, I put it away. But I'm going back on vacation, and I'm going to bring it with me. So this was a kit that I got from Country Stitches. And it's so pretty. I love it. So, yeah, she's going with me on vacation. We're going to Disney. Hopefully, if our flight doesn't get canceled at the end of January. This next one I started last spring, and it's a monochromatic red sampler, and I love this. Bierton. And I love it. This is my start. I'm stitching this with Glorianna Schoolhouse Red on a piece of Extrude Designs 40 count old mushroom. I love this linen, and I love this floss, and I'm not really sure why I put this down. Something else called to me, and I kind of stopped stitching on it, but it is on my radar to start again. Okay, fall stitching. This is Casting a Spell. It's this pillow right here. And I attempted to stitch this in hand. I thought I would try one strand in hand. And like I said, didn't really enjoy it, so I put it down, and I haven't picked it back up. And it's a small, so I got stuck on this house. As you can see, you have to put, is this two? Maybe, no, I'm sorry, it is two strands. That's why. It's 2 strands on 28 count. So this house, I don't know, I'm having a hard time filling this in right here. But this wouldn't take long to finish. And I think I'll put it in a hoop, and it'll get done in the fall. These are the threads. Very pretty. Fall. That last one was by Blackbird Designs. I also have this one by Blackbird Designs. And I started this for the Blackbird weekend, and I worked on it maybe 5 months, 5 weekends, and then I stopped because I was stitching on other things. That Halloween one just took all my time. So this is beautiful. It's on a piece of Lakeside Vintage Autumn Gold, and I fell in love with this fabric, and I think the stitching looks great on it. Here are the threads. It's super pretty. I think I'm going to make this my dark 13 stitch this year. So hopefully it'll get done. And when I went away on vacation, I started another project. This is Hocus Pocus by Autumn Lane Stitchery because I wanted to try something on Murky. I did not get very far at all. I just got this started. I don't know. I will probably get back to this maybe in August. This will be a fun one to stitch on my patio. It's on 36 count with 2 strands, which is tight for me. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. The next one is Gott, 1848. And this is my last WIP that I haven't worked on in a few months. And I started working on the All Hallows Eve Sampler and put this away. And then I just started doing holiday stitching, and this is next up in my to be finished pile. I love it. It's beautiful. I'm doing it on a lighter piece of fabric than a lot of people have been doing it on. And I love it. That rose is stunning. And I don't think this is going to take me that long to finish. So I'm almost there, honestly. This was super fun. If I didn't have that big Halloween witchy one, this would have been finished. So I will get this going soon. Soon as I finish Winter Rose Manor, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay, so those are my WIPs that are in hibernation. I will get back to them. There's not that many, really. Like I said, in 2021, really got into stitching, and I was like a kid in a candy store, and that's fine. I have a lot of kits, and I'm going to show you those in coming weeks. But I am not starting any of them until I get a lot of these finished. I definitely want to finish the Hound and the Hare. So I'll talk about what I want to do. Anyway, so the ones I've worked on in December, I worked on this cute little small, this is by the Scarlett House, Be of Good Cheer. And I got a little bit of a start on it. I'll probably finish this one after Winter Rose Manor. I don't think this is going to take me that long. Maybe I'll bring this on vacation with me, because it's small. We'll see. Okay, so this is the project that I've been obsessed with in December. I pretty much worked on it every day. This is Winter Rose Manor. I love it. It's beautiful. Very muted colors. It's by Brenda Gervais. Her color sense, like I said, is very grayscale, very much muted, not bright at all. And I'm stitching it on a piece of 36 count Lakeside linens. And I love it on this. It's like a real grayish brown. And the picture of Winter Rose Manor shows it on a very similar color. And it's a little muted, but I love it. I'm going to make sure I hang this where I can see it every day, because it's so pretty. There's a big pink house here. And that house reminds me of my house, even though my house is white. My house is of a similar shape, so it just reminds me of my yard. I have lots of cardinals in my yard, and it's so pretty. Here are the threads for Winter Rose Manor. And it's on 36 count, so I don't mind using these beautiful cotton threads. I am using Sampler Peach by Coloring Cotton for the house. And that's pretty close to the model, I think. I love it anyway. It's going to be pretty. Looking forward to doing that house. And the only other thing that I'm working on right now, I'm really heavily concentrating on Winter Rose Manor. I want to get that finished soon. The only other thing that I started, my New Year's start, was the 2022 Modern Folk Embroidery Mystery Sal. I wasn't going to do it, and then I saw pictures of it on Instagram, and I fell in love with it. So here is my start. I have to be very careful because the border is kind of hard to count. It's on 40 count. So this is 40 count Picture This Plus Legacy. And I love it. NPI black silk color 993. And they're tiny stitches. And I made some counting errors here. So I have to make sure that I have... It's easy to make counting errors because it's kind of hard to see when you make a mistake. I had to rip out some this morning, but I'm just being careful. And I'm very, very, very excited about it. It's so pretty. So my plan for 2022 is I'm getting up a little bit early and eating breakfast and then stitching on this for an hour. I'm retired. I'm actually self-employed, so I can work, when I want. So I have my breakfast and I stitch on this. I've been stitching on it for an hour, and then I put it away and get on with my day, do my workout, do my work. And then in the afternoon and evening, I am working on Winter Rose Manor, or another sampler. So as soon as I finish Winter Rose Manor, I'm going to go back to Gott and finish her. Here are the threads for Gott. Very pretty. So I'm going to finish up Gott. And then after Gott, I'm not sure. I have a lot of choice. I don't know. I'll talk about that when I show you kits next time I record in 2 weeks. But I'm concentrating on these two for now. This one and Winter Rose Manor. And then we'll go on from there. So that is it. That's pretty much everything that I've worked on in the last year and a half. That's all I have, basically, started because, again, I haven't been stitching very long. And I think I want to stitch to completion on chosen pieces. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, there's only one other thing, kind of a fail, that I wanted to show you. Sorry, there is one more thing. So, before I started this, I had purchased at the end of 2020, end of 2020, I purchased Modern Folk Embroidery's 2020 stitch along piece. It's gorgeous. A lot of people have stitched it. I absolutely love it. And so I was going to do that this year, and I wasn't going to do his new one. I was going to go back and do the 2021. So before I saw his release for this year, I started the 2021, and I had a piece of 46 count that I got at my local needle workshop, and I started it with some beautiful blue NPIs. This is the ultramarine range. I got all of this at my local, I got this at 123 Stitch. This is color 824, this beautiful blue. And so I kind of wanted that blue and white look. So I started it on this 46 count. Not a fan of the 46 count. So I just did half of this first little motif. Yeah, I'm not going to continue on this. This piece is huge. It's this big. And this 46 count was just a little bit too small for me. Yeah, it wasn't enjoyable to stitch on for me. So what I might do is maybe get some thinner silk to work on this, maybe some Floss or Fiend. But I think I'm going to restart this 2020 piece on a different piece of linen that I do have. I have a beautiful off-white linen from Seraphim that I think it's winter white that I might restart it on. So when I finish this clue, I'm either going to restart this or go to that beautiful Alice Bierton sampler and do that in the morning. So I'm going to be doing, in the morning for my hour, I want to work on monochromatic pieces. And I'll just do what the mood strikes me. Stitching is fun, and yeah. Although I have a birthday start coming up. Should I talk about it now? I might talk a little bit about it now. So Brenda, the cereal starter, and I share a birthday. I'm older than her. But our birthday is on January 16th. So she is starting that. So Brenda is starting Jane Hopkins on her birthday, and I happen to have this kitted up. So here's Jane Hopkins. It's insane. It's full coverage, basically. But I don't think it's crazy color changes. There's like big blocks of color, so I don't think it'll drive me too crazy. We'll see. I love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I got the Vicky Clayton silks for this, of course, and I have the linen. So I'm going to start this on my birthday with Brenda. Since she's starting it on her birthday, I have permission to start this on my birthday. So I'll be starting that a week from Sunday. Yeah, my birthday's a week from Sunday. So January 16th. I will be 65 years old, which is crazy. I don't feel 65. At least I don't today. Okay, so with that, I am going to end this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This is going to be a long one. So I will see you in 2 weeks. I may or may not have started Jane. Well, if it's 2 weeks, if it's after my birthday, I will have started Jane Hopkins, even though I probably won't have much of a start on it. But yeah, I have a lot to keep me busy. Hope you have a good start to the new year. Stitch something beautiful, and